Thank you so much for having us and for this award. I want to tell you a little bit about what Syapse does and how we're helping to enable clinical omics. So we started the company for two reasons. The first reason is that, as many of you have heard over the past few days, there's an observation where medicine is moving from a phenotypic, descriptive observational science to a discipline driven by data, mainly the multi-omics profile. So every patient will be genotyped at birth. They will have their transcriptome, proteome, epigenome, et cetera, measured on an ongoing basis as warranted and as time goes on. The second observation is that the fax machine still remains the API for healthcare. So when a physician receives a test report, most of the time they're receiving a piece of paper that they look at. And when you go into your typical oncologist's office, they have 20 pieces of paper scattered all over their desk, and this is how they're integrating data. The EMR and all the other systems are not solving this problem. So what Syapse has done is built a platform with accompanying set of applications for enabling clinical omics. We serve both the laboratory that generates test results, as well as the hospitals and physicians that are trying to integrate multi-omics profiles into care. The platform is based on semantic computing principles, some of which we've pioneered in enabling flexibility and configurability so we can accommodate any data type at any entity that we choose to work with. So we can capture anything from omics profiles to phenotypic information, no matter what silo it's in, to lab process data, knowledge-based information, and outcomes data. And all of this is sucked into our platform and delivered directly to the physician or is generated by the laboratory. So while we enable laboratories and we're automating the testing and reporting process, part of what I wanted to talk about today is something new that we're doing. So we're just launching this effort right now. This is actually our hospital effort, and the prime driver behind this is that physician use case that I mentioned before, where a physician needs to integrate multi-omics data, and clinical decision support at the point of care. So what our platform is doing in this case is it's taking data from the EMR and other clinical data warehouses. It's storing it in our platform. It's combining it with omics information that's generated from the laboratory, whether internal to the hospital or from an external diagnostic company. And then it's combining that with clinical decision support knowledge base. And this is key because every physician, every entity, every hospital has a different way of viewing the world. And what we're doing is enabling them to use this information in the way that they see fit. So we combine all that data together, and then we deliver it through easy-to-use interfaces to the physician. So as an example, an oncologist can log in through their iPhone or iPad or Android devices and access a comprehensive omics plus clinical report on a patient. They can figure out how to treat the patient and what drugs to switch them on. A tumor board can access the application, review cases together, and record what they learn and use that for the next set of patients. Healthcare analysts can use our data mining tools to figure out how to learn from the previous 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 patients in their institution or maybe even their network if they're collaborating with others. And then the patient can receive a personal omics record and can actually record and submit phenotypic data. So this is rolling out right now to select cancer centers that we're working with. And we're going to be very excited to talk about the outcomes of that at next year's Strata RX. So invite us back. I want to talk about one critical initiative. None of this can go forward unless we have free and open sharing of the interpretation of the genome. So Syapse is committed to the Free the Data movement. We are committed to the open sharing of genetic interpretation. And as part of this, we are working with the Genetic Alliance and other nonprofits on the Free the Data initiative. This is a really important initiative to crowdsource the interpretation of breast cancer variants. And after we're done with breast cancer with BRCA1 and BRCA2, we're going to move on to the rest of the cancer genome. So if you know anyone who has received a report on BRCA1 or BRCA2 from Myriad Genetics, please direct them to freethedata.org and have them donate their data to science. So thank you. So we're Syapse. We're enabling clinical omics. Thanks so much.